Chapter 1. Get out there. Chapter 2. Get organized. Chapter 3. Build your team. Chapter 4. Brand yourself. Chapter 5. Be a producer. Chapter 6. Run the business. Chapter 7. Be a great actor. Let's dive right into auditioning, because I know that was the thumbnail specifically, and I'm fascinated to talk to you about this because we do casting. Right. I've been competing against you since I started acting, and then I made some transitions and whatnot, and you're one of the best auditioners I've ever seen ever.
Wow, that means a lot. Thanks. That's really nice to know, because you know how it is in auditioning. We get no feedback.
None.
No audition.
Yeah.
You just throw the ball out there and you hope that somebody will catch it. Is that a good metaphor? Yeah.
I feel like you're good when you have somebody come into the casting room and then the casting director's like, hey, so if you could just do what the guy before you did. And that's happened like 4 times when you come in, where you'll do some creative move and then the next person will go in and they'll be like, when they get to direction, they'll be like, what if you just did what he just did?
Yeah, well, you do it enough. Like, you just, thank you. I appreciate it.
To have a solid memory in order to put up a play. That was 100% the right choice. The moment you realize you're stuck for a sec, stop and literally take a breath.
You have to react to that from his point of view as honestly as possible. 1, 2, 3.
I tried to explain.
I don't want you to think about getting through the monologue. Yes.
Let's go!
Because my job isn't to work the monologue. My job is to work on you.
It's not about how many classes are on the resume. It's about your work ethic and persistence.
Who's further along than they were when they walked in the room?
We want the world to hear this. We want this to get out. This is why we do what we do.
That felt like the most honest thing I've ever done as an actress.
It was like entering like a new world.
It was like draining and exhaust you, but in a good way, you know?
It just feels so good to just feel the growth, the true growth all the way around.
We made a lot of discoveries. Yeah. Like lots of discoveries.
I feel like you give me permission as a coach to go all the way.
I just know what we do. It makes me so proud. And so like I want to make sure everything's perfect.
My hope is that this class opens everybody up as a person.
You're gonna do a sick rap intro.
I don't know, you're live already actually.
Well, you said sick rap intro.
I don't know, the audience didn't hear it. This audience.
No, this audience heard it. Did you hear? Yeah. All right. Here we go. You got the beat?
Right.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Dakota's always got my beat.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Wipey guy?
Yeah.
We need the microphone, wipey guy.
Yeah, how you doing? Yeah, hey.
I was literally... Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, hit me with a beat, Dakota. Get ready.
pull your seat back. It's time for our actors to attack. Yeah, showcase night, Monday adults. That's right, first up, we got Nico. He's gonna bring his guitar, you know. So, give me a holla, let's go. Pay them dollars,
Right now?
Alright, no mic until. Oh yeah, you need it.
Because he's.
Yeah.
Do you need mic? No.
Right now?
Alright, it's our monologue section. Here we go.
Hi, my name is Nico. After my show, thought I'd have a little fun. Hopped on a horse, Lord, he sure could run. Well, I got a butt kicking when the police finally caught me. Not a moment too soon, Tim McGraw jumped in, did his best Jackie Chan, caught a cop on the chin. Now I don't understand why they arrested me. My cellmate thinks I'm sexy, I really turn him on. He's always staring at me when the guards are gone. I'm running out of cigarettes, he's asking me to dance. Says I'm looking good in these orange pants. I really wish Tim McGraw was here to protect me. My cellmate thinks I'm sexy. I'd give anything to be back on my bus. Hiding in my bunk, but he's climbing on up. Swears all he wants me to do is sing in one of my songs. Says he's got a dream, I'm afraid of what it is. You never gonna see me on a horse after this. I only got one call, I hope Faith is home. My cellmate thinks I'm sexy, he just won't leave me alone. He's blowing kisses at me, and I'm ducking them all. I hate to break it to him, I am no mood for romance. What part of no don't this fool understand? I'm in big trouble if someone don't come and get me. My cellmate thinks I'm sexy. Well, one day behind bars is quite enough, 'cause when I drop that soap, Lord, his eyes light up. My cellmate thinks I'm sexy. Continue. My cellmate thinks I'm sexy, I really turn him on. My name is Kenny Chesney, this ain't nowhere I belong. Me and Tim's in trouble, but one thing is for sure, George Strait's gonna kick us off his George Strait tour. I called Tracy Lawrence, but he's in the next cell beside me. My cellmate thinks I'm sexy. My cellmate thinks I'm sexy.
Yeah, go ahead. Take your coat off. Yeah, thanks, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, next up we've got Daniel. Big round of applause.
I don't get what you're so upset about. I thought we had a really good time together, and I was actually in a fairly upset mind for once. Well, I don't mean in any kind of lascivious way, so I don't know why you'd take it like that. I really like you. No, not whatever. I'm sorry I said anything to Dennis. I definitely caved to peer pressure, but I also definitely said as little as possible and was totally respectful from the way I talked about you. I was just excited about what happened last night, and also maybe I don't know, going out with you. which I'd be very into if you were. But if you want to think that the whole thing just meant nothing to me, then go right ahead. Because that's not the case. It's totally weird, you know, ripping off each other's clothes and having sex with someone you barely know and then being like, what's up now, you know? It's such an intense experience, but then nobody knows what to think, even though nothing bad actually happened. But I really like you. Sure, I don't agree with most of your opinions, but it's not every day that I meet someone who could actually make me think, you know? And who could hold their own in an interesting discussion. And someone who I'm totally hot for at the same time, you know? It's a fairly effective combination.
Yeah, all right. Very good, very good. All right, next up in our monologue section, big round of applause for Corinne.
This helpful?
Hi, my name is Elle Woods, and I'm going to tell all of you at Harvard why I'm going to make an amazing lawyer. First, as president of my sorority, I'm skilled at commanding the attention of a room and discussing very important issues. It has come to my attention that the maintenance staff is changing our toilet paper from Charmin to generic. All those opposed to chafing, please say aye. Aye! Woo! Secondly, I'm able to recall hundreds of important details at the drop of a hat. Hey, Elle, do you know what happened on Days of Our Lives yesterday? Why, yes, I do. Once again, we join Hope in the search for her identity. As you know, she has been brainwashed by the evil Stefano. Lastly, I feel comfortable using legal jargon in everyday life.
Hey.
I object! And that is why you should vote for me, Elle Woods, future lawyer, for the class of 2004.
Very good, very good, very good. Big round of applause for Corinne and co-starring Dakota Banana. Very good, Dakota. Yeah. All right, next up we have the unforgettable, nobody could forget, Astrid to the stage.
Astrid!
Nope.
So, okay. Like right now, for example, the Haitians need to come to America. But some people are all, what about the strain on our resources? But it's like when I had this garden party for my father's birthday, right? I said RSVP because it was a sit-down dinner. But people came that like did not RSVP. So I was like totally bugging. I had to haul ass to the kitchen, redistribute the food, squish in extra place settings. But by the end of the day, it was like, the more the merrier. And so, if the government could just get to the kitchen, rearrange some things, we could certainly party with the Haitians. And in conclusion, may I please remind you that it does not say RSVP on the Statue of Liberty.
All right, very good, very good. All right, next up in our monologue section, we've got Jared to the stage. Jared, come on down.
Woo!
Yeah, you're gonna go. You're gonna do your monologue. It's gonna be great.
All right.
Everybody likes you.
Thank you, guys. Listen, Carl, Kurt. Now, despite what you did to Gilstart, I liked you. Give me a second. And I know what you want more than anything. right now. You got the same secret dream. You want to join the Pharaohs, right? You got 3 options. 1, you fail, you chicken out. In that case, we're gonna tie you to the back of a car, probably give you a cigarette, tie you to the back of a car, drag you around a little bit. You don't want that. Dr. Holstein will hear you. You don't want that either. Last thing, you join the Pharaohs. I can't. Just pick option 3. Okay.
Yeah! All right, way to go, Jared. Little known fact about Jared, this is his very first month in the program. Welcome to the family, Jared. All right, next up we've got Olivia to the stage. Olivia, big round of applause for Olivia.
Hi, I'm really sorry about what I did, and I know that you can't forgive me, but just to even things out, here's all of my weird secret stuff. I have been sexually rejected by not 1 but 2 guys who later went to clown college. I get super nervous whenever I hear a vacuum cleaner because when I was a kid, my mom used to turn on the vacuum to drown out the sound of her and my dad fighting, which is why I rarely vacuum my apartment, like never. I have had 3 donuts today. Once in college, I pooped my pants a little bit at a country steaks all-you-can-eat buffet, and I didn't leave until I finished my 2nd plate of shrimp. A couple of nights ago, I went on a date with my cousin. Oh wow, that's seriously messed up. When Twilight came out, all of my friends were obsessed with Robert Pattinson, but I was secretly Team Jacob. I have this recurring dream that I'm standing on the edge of a cliff, but instead of water at the bottom, it's just Taylor Lautner standing there, and he's shirtless and smoldering, and he's beckoning me with this box of Krispy Kreme donuts, and I never actually get the chance to wake up before I never actually get the chance to jump before I wake up. So that's why I still like to eat donuts though, which is why I had 5 today instead of 3, so that's my deal. Now we're even.
Alright, very good, very good. Next up in our comedic monologue section, we've got Vicky to the stage.
That's good.
You know what I'd do if I had my own place? Don't get mad. I'd have 3 or 4 guys to keep me company. No one guy's enough. I mean, it's like they got them parts, you know. But they're all mixed up. It's like they got scrambled. Well, besides, every guy I've ever been with has had another woman. Oh, you think I don't know? I know what's going on. I just pretend like I don't. It's what I do. I don't know why. I just pretend. So, maybe it's my turn. Maybe it's their turn to come to me. Maybe it's my turn to use them and tell them to get out when I'm done with them. Maybe it's my turn to have them pick up after me. Maybe I'll have all the guys that I want. They can only come when I call them. When I ring my little bell. What do you think of that? See?
Yeah, very good, very good. Woo! All right, next up in our comedic monologue section, we've got Nick. Big round of applause for Nick Malata.
Yeah, Nick Malata!
Woo!
You know, last week I had a pretty hard week, but this week I'm doing a lot better. I mean, last week I checked into a hotel, I told the bellhop to handle my bag. He started feeling up my wife. I says, hey buddy, who said you can fool around my wife? He says, everybody. And my wife, she don't go for me either. I'm not that good a looking guy. On Halloween, I go to the door, the kids give me candy. Hey, and my wife is always messing with me. One day I told my kid, I was like, you know, son, one day you're gonna have kids of your own. My wife looks at me and says, yeah, maybe you will too. Yeah, but I've been having these problems ever since I was a kid. My old man took me to the zoo. The zookeeper thanked him for returning me. Yeah, caused all kinds of problems. My father, he took me to a child psychiatrist. The kid didn't help me at all. But you know, all these problems, they stem from my mother. She never even breastfed me. She said she liked me as a friend. Thank you.
Yeah! All right, next up in our comedic monologue section, can we get the table, please, there, Dakota? Please give a warm welcome to Tessa!
Are you kidding me? Paris? I told you she wanted to go to Paris. I told you Paris! What, are you gonna go to Paris with Helen now? Oh, are you gonna ride around on your bikes with your berets and your baguettes in the front baskets of your bike? Oh, how romantic. What woman gives another woman a trip to Paris? Am I right? Am I right? Yeah. Lillian, we are all thinking it. Yeah. Lillian, this is not the you that I know. The you that I know would have walked in here and rolled your eyes and thought this was completely ridiculous, over the top, and stupid. I mean, look at this shower. Look at that cookie. Did you really think this group of women would finish that cookie? Oh, you know what? Now that I think about it, I don't think I got a chance to try it. Oh, maybe I could dip it in the chocolate. Is this what you want, Lillian? Nothing says friendship like 1,000 gallons of unsanitary chocolate. You know what, Lillian? I'm happy for you. I'm really happy for you. I wish you well. I won't bother you anymore.
Yeah! Very good!
Sorry for the mouse.
Good.
Thanks.
That's okay.
All right, wonderful. Here we go. Next up in our monologue section, we've got AJ. Big round of applause for AJ!
It's self-induced claustrophobia. I can't get back outside myself. Not sure I ever was outside myself. You aren't following me at all, are you? It's not to say that you're dumb. It's just the way that you look at me is different. Different in the way that you actually care to hear about my problems, but also different, and it doesn't seem to register on your face at all what I'm saying. Sure, I'm grateful to be listened to in this great big world of ours. I mean, you're a really nice fella and all. It's just, isn't that amazing? We live in, there's millions of us spread out all over the earth, and none of us really know one another. None of us really know one another. I find that scary. I sound like a real tulip, don't I? They do talk, you know. Flowers. All we have to do is listen. I pay attention to these things. I had this mother once. She used to try to take care of plants. They would all die on her after a time. But then one day she went on a holiday. She left me in charge of all the plants. Within a week, they were all standing straight up, stretching out toward the sun. You want to know why? Because I would sing to them. In the mornings after I would water them, I would sing to them sweet nursery rhymes. I felt instant connection. I would even say a bond. You know? As if they were real friends of mine. Even family, if you want to know the truth. You know, in a way, you remind me of them. And the way that you listen, but you don't respond much. It's nice. It's nice because you have nice eyes, and I like looking into your eyes.
Yeah, very good, very good. All right, next up in our comedic monologue section, we've got Saya to the stage. Round of applause for Saya.
Saya! Flip.
What do we need? Oh, we need a chair. We're bringing out a chair. All right, anytime you're ready, Saya.
It's not that hard, okay? If you really want a guy to find you irresistible, here's what you gotta do. So first of all, always send him the signal that you're interested. Guys are afraid of rejection, so you have to help build their confidence. So whenever you see him walking by, just give him the look. You know, the look that says, I want you. It's all in the eyes, like this. Unless he's blind, there's no way he's gonna miss that message. Next, you have to get the walk down. You know, sexy, like you know you're the bomb. Watch. She's right there. And also, all men thirst over the lower half of our bodies, especially our shins. So you have to accentuate them. Okay, he's right there, okay? Once you do that, gold. And here's a special secret, okay? When you talk to him, stare at his mouth a lot, okay? But not in a weird way, just like in a, I want you to kiss me type of way. Okay, so you pretend like you're him and I'll be you, okay? See? If you do that, the deal will be sealed.
Ah, very good. Can we clear that chair, Chicano?
V, are you going to be using the chair? Nope.
Thank you. Next up, we've got V to the stage. Round of applause for V.
Okay. First off, a lion swimming in the ocean. Lions don't even like water. If you placed in a river or some sort of freshwater source, that would make sense. But you find yourself in the ocean, 20-foot wave, and I'm assuming that's all because of South Africa, coming up against a full-grown 800-pound tuna with his 20 or 30 friends. You lose that battle. In fact, you lose that battle 9 times out of 10. And guess what? You wandered into our school of tuna, and we now have a taste of lion. We talked to ourselves, we've communicated and said, you know what? Lion tastes good. Let's go get some more lion. We developed a system to establish a beachhead and aggressively hurt you and your family, and we will corner your pride, your children, your offspring. We will construct a series of breathing apparatus with kelp, and we'll be able to trap certain amount of oxygen. And it's not gonna be days at a time, but an hour 45, no problem. That will give us enough time to figure out where you live, go back to the sea, get more oxygen, and then stalk you. I mean, you just lost at your own battle, now you're all gunning out, man. Now, did this go the way you thought it was gonna go? I don't think so.
Next up to the stage, we've got Daniel W. Big round of applause for Daniel with the W at the end.
Dear Diary, 9th grade has already been the greatest year of my life, but it's about to get even better. Because tonight, I am going to kiss Veronica Johnson at her party on the lips. She is the most popular girl in school and the most beautiful girl, nay, woman, I have ever seen in my entire life. But that stupid Tyler Bradley is gonna be there, and I freaking hate his guts! I do not understand what she sees in him. Breast Daniel. But that doesn't matter, because tonight, I woo her. I woo her. Here's the plan, diary. I show up to her house 30 minutes early to beat the crowd. And then I get crazy drunk. I heard Ryan Lipker stole 2 Mike's Hard Lemonades from his dad's house. So let's just say I won't be able to freaking walk. And then, when Tyler Bradley isn't there, I'm gonna walk up to Veronica Johnson. I'm gonna look her in her eyes. And I'm gonna say, baby girl, I've had my eyes on you for a long time. And there's just one question that I wanna ask you. Can I kiss you? On the lips. I'm gonna bring some of my dad's condoms just in case she wants to give me. Just in case she wants to give me a BJ. I honestly don't know what that is, diary, but I learned in health class, don't be silly, wrap your willy. And I want to be safe. Well, diary, wish me luck. XO, XO, XO.
Yeah, bro. That was amazing.
All right, last but not least in our monologue section is the Mikey Wipey guy.
Heck yeah.
Otherwise known as Dakota.
I would like to call on the leniency of the jury. Not because I didn't know what I was doing. I knew what I was doing. Although, please keep in mind that it wasn't actually me who killed David. I didn't shoot at anyone or anything. I just helped with the kidnapping. I may be an accessory to murder, but a minor accessory. Like, what's a minor accessory?
Like a beret.
Like a beret! It's true. I helped keep him hostage. But I had a good reason for all my actions. Revenge! Revenge is, I believe, a good reason to do things. It may get you arrested, but my hope is that you, my peers, will understand and appreciate the importance of revenge and will be lenient on me. Because when it all comes down to it, all of my actions were motivated by revenge. When you take away a man's ability to support himself, don't you expect him to fight back? And so I did. Murder might have been too strong a way to fight back, but I hope you will understand my impulses, if not the severity of my actions. Thank you. I would also like to say, to those who try to copycat me and kidnap CEOs, I would not do that. I think it is a bad idea, despite the manifesto I wrote saying it was a good idea. I no longer believe that manifesto, for I am penitent and see the errors I have made in the past. But I was trapped. The system is against us. That much is clear. It is against you whether or not you break the law. It is just against you. I think this is bad for a system. Thank you. Please be lenient. Cool, thanks.
All right, folks, that marks the end of our monologue section. Big round of applause for all of our performers. Let's get some thumbs up there if you're watching virtually. Get a little comments going. I want all y'all to just give some love to your friends. Send some super chats. You know what I'm talking about. Super chat. All right, good. So now we're going to move on to the stand-up portion of our class. So a lot of the class worked on some stand-up comedy routines if they've been in the class long enough. And so we're very proud of this. We're very, very happy. This is everybody's unique work that they've created, which is super cool. And I've been very impressed and very blessed to get to teach all of you. So thank you for that opportunity. For those wondering, I'm going to mention it now where we're going. Starting next week, we're moving into our next section, which is going to be our dramatic acting. We're going to work into our version of Meisner. We're going to work on some new monologues and different scene work involving dramatic work. Brian is going to dive deep into his emotional triggers stuff that he does, which is really, really very powerful. And I'm sure he's got a whole new take on it, actually, now that he's sort of died again and come back. That's great. Good news is Brian's got 9 lives. He's only on like 4 so far. So he's got a ways to go. Just, you know, maybe less per year would be good. Okay. That's it. So we're going to hit up the stand-up. If you wouldn't mind, Mikey Wipey Guy.
That's my name.
You can kind of Mikey wipe as we go and pass the mic off to each performer. And so I'm going to sign off here. Once again, it's been just a blessing and an honor to teach all of you. Can't wait to get started again next week. And if you have any questions, you can ask us after class. All right, our first performer, Nico to the stage!
Alright, let's hold out here. Cool. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Sorry.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Yeah!
Good!
Wow, you make me feel pretty. Okay, I know we went through a crazy year, but I decided to write a song about how I felt about 2020. Hope you enjoy it. Okay, next song I'm gonna do is basically... I got time. Next song I'm gonna do is basically about my struggles with Asperger's. Anybody else have it? Okay, let's get to the song. Yeah, look at me while I'm singing, lady. Try to amend my autistic habits so one day I could get laid. I broke out of my shell, told them all to go to hell. Now I'm telling jokes and I'm going on stage, and now I have these wonderful dreams about the girl I'm willing to meet. She's not those real looking Barbies with fake old jeans, but with big old buns and is mental like me. Asperger in paradise, person on earth with a charming mind. Not too particular, not too precise, I'm just a Asperger in paradise.
McNair. Bye.
And our next performer is Daniel. There you go.
Thank you. So I'm gonna start off by asking you guys a question. If you're biracial, just give yourself a round of applause.
Woo!
What are you mixed with?
Like German.
That was a pity clap, wasn't it? Okay, white people, give yourself a round of applause. Biracial people, don't worry. I'm sure there'll be more of us in the future. So, a bit about myself. I'm biracial. I'm Persian on my dad's side and Italian on my mom's side. So in the United States, that pretty much means that I'm officially classified as a Latino. Yeah, but I love being biracial. Sure, it has its own sets of confusions, but when you're having trouble with one side of your ethnicity, you can just switch to the other. For example, I'm Middle Eastern, and Middle Eastern people have a bit of a complicated reputation in the United States. We're one of two things. We're either evil terrorists who hate this country and want to see it burned to the ground, or two, Disney's Aladdin. I mean, yeah, there's like the whole Bible and the foundation of Christianity and everything, but we just kind of glance over the fact that they were all Middle Eastern. Speaking of Aladdin, actually, I used to play Aladdin. I used to be Aladdin for children's birthday parties. And I would assume that being Aladdin is like a dead giveaway that I'm Middle Eastern. So if a racist dad ever were to come up to me and say, Middle East ain't looking so good these days, Aladdin, I could just switch over to my other side and say, actually, sir, I'm Italian, how you doing? And if he says, oh, so you just like organized crime, I could just switch back and say, well, you know what? It just so turns out that I happen to be Middle Eastern. Well, I guess that just kind of contradicts itself. Wow, I'm a dangerous mix. I feel so bad. That's awful, I'm just kidding. Those are stereotypes. Middle Eastern people are actually very peaceful. Persian people, we're all about love. Now Italians. That's a little different. Because like Italians are. You know what? I'm not really allowed to talk a lot about it. You know, they'll get you. They'll get you. So don't get me wrong. I talk with a foot in my mouth all the time. But the assumptions people make sometimes, they just tend to think you're anything. They're like, are you indigenous? Are you Indian? Are you Greek? Are you Hispanic? Sometimes people just come up to me and start speaking Spanish. Don't get me wrong, this doesn't annoy me at all. If anything, it just makes me more self-aware as an American how we need to be learning more Spanish as a country, you know? You know what I mean? I blame the education system, you know? I just remember in high school, we just kind of glance at it, and then the teacher's like, okay, you're good to go forever now. Well, in other countries, it's the norm to be trilingual by like 14. But hey, at least we got to learn the Pythagorean theorem, right? Thank you very much.
All right, next up, we got the always amazing Corinne.
Thank you. All right, guys, here's my impression of a person who refuses to say Happy Holidays instead of Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Okay. Happy Holiday. No! Nope! That is too many syllables. These people are asking for too much. Hi, my name's Corinne and I'm Jewish. Thank you. So for those of you who don't know, the main difference between Judaism and Christianity is that in Christianity it is believed that Jesus Christ was the Messiah, and in Judaism it is believed that the Messiah is yet to come. So when I was about middle school age, I would tell my classmates that I was Jewish, and the reaction I would get was always something like, oh, so you just don't believe in Jesus? No, I fully believe that Jesus existed. That's not what I'm saying. Oh, so you just hate Jesus. You just hate him. No, I don't hate Jesus. That's not what I'm saying. Oh, I get it. You hate Santa Claus. That's who you hate. I actually used to believe in Santa Claus. When I was younger, my family traveled to visit my dad's side of the family during Christmas break because even though we don't celebrate Christmas in my home, my dad's side of the family is Catholic, so we go and travel and visit them to be a part of their tradition. And every Christmas, my uncles would rotate on who had to dress up as Santa. But this particular year, I was about 7 years old. It was my very own father's turn to dress up as Santa Claus. So it's Christmas morning, we're eating breakfast, my dad sneaks out of the room. 5 minutes pass by and all of a sudden Santa walks in. And there's not a thought into my head as to, I wonder where my dad went. It's, oh my gosh, there's Santa, this is my only chance to meet him. He ain't coming to my house. So I meet Santa Claus and we're sitting in the living room and he's giving us our presents and he's handing me my gift and he sort of pauses and points at me and says, wait a minute, aren't you Jewish? Oh my God, Santa knows I'm Jewish. This is the end for me. He's gonna send the elves after me. He's gonna tell the tooth fairy to stop giving me money. I mean, there goes my income. I'm 7 years old. Anyway, thank you very much. Enjoy this.
All right, next up we got Astrid. Woo! Yeah.
Thank you.
You got it.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Yeah.
Good. All right, so I'm from New York, if you couldn't tell. Thank you. Not that part, though. It's going to be a different part of New York. Anybody ever heard of Monroe Woodbury, New York? Didn't think so. No, I didn't think so. It's really bougie out there, let me tell you, okay? So, yeah, we wear puffy coats, but to match, we've got our Gucci belts and, of course, our Valentino boots. Now, everybody's mom is also a real housewife, just with a little bit less plastic surgery. Now, once you turn 16, get this, you have a choice of either a Beamer or an Audi. So once you crash your Beamer, you will get the Audi. So I got the Audi first. No, but I mean, it was really nice growing up there. There's a lot of history in Monroe, New York. Ever heard of Velveeta cheese?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, it was created there. Now, we ate none of that. Disgusting. We just fed it to all of you. Hope you enjoyed it. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Next up, we got Jared. Woo!
What's up, everybody?
What's up?
What's up, bro?
This is my first stand-up, and it's also my first time doing this, so I made this up like 3 hours ago. I hope it works. All right, so I'd like to talk about being unprepared. So I'm gonna go way back. I felt like it was appropriate. I'm gonna go way back. So the first time that I can remember being unprepared is, well, I was born. And nobody told me. And then to make it worse, I was the middle child. So I had my older sister, and then it was me and then my younger brother. And I was raised super traditional. So what that means, for those of you who don't know, if you're not raised in a Hispanic family that's raised super traditional, I'm the second born, but I'm basically the firstborn. Because my sister is the oldest, but she's a girl. So if she gets in trouble, I get in trouble. Because why aren't you watching out for your sister? Like, my little brother gets in trouble, well, he's the baby. Why weren't you setting a better example for your brother? Dude, I'm 5. What are you? There was another time that I was really unprepared. I got a phone call one day and it's like, hello? It was like, hey, I'm pregnant. I'm like, I think you have the wrong number. But I think the most... Thank you guys. But I think the most recent time that I can say it, and I was told not to tell this, but the most recent time that I was unprepared, I didn't know if I was going to make it to class tonight. I really didn't have a car, and it's a really long walk from Florence. So, just thank you guys.
Nice job, bro. Nice job. All right. Next up, we got Olivia. Woo!
Has anybody ever watched Cobra Kai on Netflix? Woo! Karate Kid, something like that. I feel like 2020 was like a messed up version of Karate Kid. Mask on, mask off. Mr. Miyagi would be proud. You know what's even harder? Having a phone conversation with a mask on. Has anyone ever tried that? That's fun. It goes something like this. Hi, my name's Olivia. I was just calling to confirm my appointment for this afternoon. Sure, no
No problem, Amanda. Mask or not, my name is kind of confusing for some people. So my first name's Olivia, last name is Kelly. You can guess my initials can cause some kind of confusion. I work at a GI clinic and we have to write our initials on everything, various task lists, make sure everything's completed. One day someone picked up the specimen list and was like, who keeps writing okay on all the labels? At the end of the day, we have to bleach down all of our procedure rooms to make sure nice and clean. And what do you do at the end? Write your initials. Thank you. So we were all finished. My friend was standing by the list. I still had my gloves on, so she was like, hey, Olivia, what are your initials? Okay. No, it's not okay. I need your initials. So I'm complaining to my friend about it. Well, he's not my friend. He works there. And he was like, he didn't say anything the whole time. I'm like, why doesn't people understand my name? My name's Olivia Kelly with 2 first names. Why don't people not understand? And later on, I found out his initials were BJ. My problems shrunk a little bit. That's it.
All right, next up we got Vicky. Woo!
How y'all doing tonight?
Yay!
Got a great crowd here tonight. Well, I'd like to speak to you for a moment about small towns. Anybody live in one? Ever? No? Yeah. All right, yeah, just a few of us? All right, well, I don't know what to tell you about them except for it is really strange. Okay, so like we moved into this town called Wickenburg. Has anybody heard of that one? Yeah. Yeah? Oh, you have? Really? Yeah. All right, well, you must have been an alcoholic or on your way to Las Vegas and been a big gambler because it is the only pass-through town. You know what I'm saying? You have to pass through Wickenburg to get to that Vegas line. Now, about the town itself, okay? So I go there and I'm asking around. I have my 3 kids, and I'm saying, like, where do you, like, buy some kid stuff, like underwear and stuff that you might need, on a spare. And I'm answered with, it's about 45 miles down the road. Yeah, just drive. I said, I mean like today. I need it like today, like within an hour they're going to school. No. And then I find out there's only like 1 church per like thing. So, it's like 1 Catholic church, 1 Jewish church. It's like amazing to me. I mean, or temple, whatever you call those things. I'm sorry whoever was in the audience and who was Jewish, all right? I didn't mean to offend. But I'm really into my Catholic religion and that's where I stick, okay? So I don't really get out much. It's Catholic. I was raised that way. Don't hold it against me. And then last but not least, I'm living in the town, and then all of a sudden I get this call from the principal. He says, hey, we were wondering if you could be our teacher here. I'm like thinking, a teacher? Yeah, our teacher. We need a new teacher here, and we thought you'd be a great candidate. And I'm like, and how would that be? I'm not a teacher. It's like, oh yeah, but we heard you could sing, and all the kids loved you, so we'd like you to come on down, and you know what? They hired me. I worked 12 years. I had them fooled. Have a great night. Have a great
night. Vicky. All right. Next up, we got Nick Mulata.
Woo! A little too high.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Too high. And how about that?
That's beautiful.
You're beautiful.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
How many people out there have an Italian grandmother?
Woo!
How many people out there have an Italian grandmother who lived in a cave for 4 years hiding from Nazis and bombs? Nobody. Well, that was my grandmother. That's what she did before she came to this country, and that does 2 things. The first thing it does, it makes you tough as nails and scary. My grandmother was this tall. Nobody messed with her. Okay? And you better not have ever eaten before she cooked. Remember one time I ate pizza and I went to go eat dinner. She made pasta. We're all sitting at the table and I'm just kind of mixing the food around in my plate. And my grandmother's sitting at the end of the table just... What's the matter? You no hungry? Oh, no, Grandma, I'm just taking my time. Oh, okay. So she hops down from her chair and she walks over to me. So you don't like it? Oh, no, Grandma, it's delicious. I just, taking my time. She's like, oh, you eat already? No. The other thing it does, living in that situation, it makes you very, very dramatic. We used to go out, and Grandma would stay at home. And then when we came back one time, it looked like it rained, the grass was wet, there were some leaves on the ground. And as we pulled into the driveway, the door opened, it just opened. And out of the darkness came my grandmother. I was just a sit, a minding my own business, a watching the TV. And the sky, they turn us so black. And the lightning it strike. The house the shake, go boom, boom, everything will fall down on top of me. So I said, Christ, you don't see me, Christ? And then the sun, break of the cloud, and the light, they shine down on me. You hungry? I make a lunch. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, buddy. All right, and next up we have Saya. Woo!
Yes, Hi guys, how are you doing tonight? Okay, do we have any allergy people in the crowd? Yeah. Oh, Astrid, Olivia, yes. Okay, team allergies. I never heard that actually, I just made that up. So as allergy people, you know, when you introduce yourself as an allergy person, I get a lot of like, oh my gosh, that must be so hard, and it is. You know, in school it was really hard because I remember just seeing the kids sitting together at lunch and clinking their PB&Js together and singing Kumbaya. And meanwhile, I was sitting at the nut-free table by myself. I mean, not completely by myself, because we can't forget about Creepy Chester sitting over here. Creepy Chester was an allergy kid too, but the only difference was he owned an insulin prick, and he would always try to stick me with it. And I didn't like that too much, so I would always say to him, Creepy Chester, if you ever try to stick me with that one more time, just know I'm packing an EpiPen. So, one day I just couldn't handle it anymore, and I didn't want to stick anyone with my EpiPen, and I had a long conversation with my dad about how I'm ready to like graduate to that next stage in my life, and how I'm ready to like explore that risque side of myself, and like go out into the world and just go and like grab those juicy, mouth-watering nuts and just taste them for myself. It was at a Christmas party. And just doing it, rocked my world. Like my body was never the same again. I mean, eating those peanut butter cookies were life-changing. And that's my show.
All right, next up we got V.
Hey, I'm V, everyone.
Hey!
Any immigrants in the room tonight?
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah. We're 2 in the room. So a lot of you have probably noticed by now I do have an accent. I get a lot of questions about that. People usually come out to me and ask, what are you? And I'm just confused, like I'm like you, a human being, and you're not like me. And I ask, do you mean where I'm from? And they're like, yes, where are you from? So I tell them I'm like born and raised in France, and they ask me, are you sure? Yes, I'm pretty sure I was there at birth. I mean, but then they ask me, where are you really from? And I tell them, I'm from France. And they're like, but no, where are you really, really from? I I guess that's their way of asking what's my ethnicity, but the first time I heard that, I really thought someone was asking me, like, where do babies come from? And I was a little bit confused. I mean, like, I'm concerned for you. If you're 30 and you still don't know where they come from, that's a problem. Like, you have to speak to your parents, you know? But yeah, a lot of people always assume I'm Hispanic for some reason. I had people come up to me, started speaking Spanish, and I just stood there like, yeah, I don't know what you're saying, but yeah, sure. I had a lady once tell me, you sound like you speak Spanish. Like, go figure that one out. But all jokes aside, my parents are from the Middle East. My dad is Lebanese Armenian. My mom is Armenian Syrian, which technically makes me Armenian Lebanese Syrian. But I don't tell that to people because they're already confused by the fact that I'm not Hispanic and I don't want to go there. Yeah, so I just tell them I'm Armenian. Yeah, that's it.
All right, next up we got Daniel W.
Yeah!
Buddy. There you go, homie.
Thank you. I didn't realize I would have time to change, so this is my attempt of looking cooler. One thing I do want to mention, I have this mark on my nose. I know we can all see it, and I just want to clear the air. The second it happened, my friends were like, oh, now you can make up some like badass story of something that happened to you. But we all know that this is the mark of a very clumsy man. And I'm not even going to tell you what happened. I'm not going to waste your time. I just want you to know it wasn't cool, whatever did happen. I do want to address the major elephant in the room of tonight is I am white and I am a male. I'm sorry. I talked to my doctor about it. There's nothing we can do as of now, but I will try to do better next time. While I am up here, I just want to talk about an accomplishment in my life, and that is that I have a business degree from Grand Canyon University. Don't be that excited. It's a business degree. It means I got gold stars for showing up to class, and I can read at like a 6th grade comprehension level. Honestly, anyone has the brain power to get a business degree. The one thing that stops you is money. Now I know you guys are already, you're tracking with me here. I'm a white male, and what do all white men have? Money, right? Money, and that's where I want to kind of take you off here and tell you a little story, make you feel a little silly, maybe. I'm gonna tell you a story about my dad. His name is Dan Williams. Now that man grew up without a single cent to his name, and he is a white male. And he got to college age, and he wanted to go to college. He wanted to get his degree. So what did he do? He worked his butt off. He worked every week, every day, 40 hours, 50 hours, 60 hours, whatever it took. And he did it. He paid for his degree all by his own. Now we're a family. Yeah. Exactly. Man, you feel silly, huh? And we're a family of tradition. So if my dad was expected to work his ass off to get his degree, then you best believe that I also expect him to work his ass off to get me my degree. Now I think we all learned something here today, huh? You guys learned not to assume, and my dad learned not to assume that if you pay for your son's college degree, that he'll get a job or move out of the house. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Next up's me.
Yeah! I was like, why is it being so awkward?
Yeah. Mr. Mikey Wipey guy. Which actually was my nickname in college. Don't ask why. Just don't ask why. No, I love doing stand-up, but one thing that completely doesn't relate to stand-up is that I'm a huge guy. I'm 6'1", 250 pounds of pure, unadulterated testosterone. And if you know me, you know that's a complete lie. I may look like a mob boss, but I play D&D, and I'm proud of it. Yeah. Any nerds in the audience tonight? Huh, losers. But no, it's weird being like a big guy, but like having such a kind of effeminate, like nerdy side, because like I may look again like a mob boss, like you come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding to take her into marriage, and I'm gonna sick all my guys on you. And you think like they're gonna die after that. I'm like, no, it doesn't work like that. They look at me the wrong way, and I shudder. I do. One time my friends and I were out drinking. I was wearing, you know, classic like big guy attire, all pink shirt, kittens on it, some flowers maybe. There was a puppy. And he comes up to me and he's like, I'm gonna fight you. And I said, no. Don't. I play D&D. I'm a cleric. And he was acting so belligerent that they got one of the bouncers out there. I was like, oh, thank God they got a bouncer out here. She was a 4'11", thin as a rail, little ginger. And she railed into him. And she looked at me afterwards and she's like, you're good, big guy. Never felt so ashamed and so scared yet so curious in my life. That's, you know, that's it. That's my stand-up. Mikey Wipey guy.
Big round of applause for the Mikey Wipey guy. All right, so audience online, thank you again for watching and for tuning in and supporting everybody here. I told you to share. I told you to share this. You should be so proud of yourselves. I'm so very proud of you. Go home, watch this, be proud. Very excited about the direction of this program, where our community is at. You owe yourselves and each other a big, huge debt of gratitude for fighting through this last year together as a team, as a family. And we got a lot of good stuff going on, and we're going to keep doing it. So thank you guys so much. Love you so much. Have a great night.